Dak Prescott is the man of the moment. The Cowboys have agreed to terms with Dak Prescott on a new contract. The moment we've all been waiting for, a formal press conference is scheduled for Wednesday, but you don't have to wait that long for the details because we've got Ian Rappaport. He's going to come in right now and get us all the details. A rap sheet action. So, Ian, give us the tea on the deal.
A massive, massive deal for the Cowboys. Franchise quarterback Dak Prescott just agreed to terms a couple minutes ago. Listen to this. 4 years, $160 million. That is the base value of the deal. At its max, $164 million. He gets $126 million guaranteed. So regardless of what happens, Dak is clearly going to get paid $66 million and a signing bonus, $75 million in year one. I mean, this is really for the Cowboys and for Dak Prescott. This is what they've been waiting for. And MJ, it's never been a question of, is Dak Prescott the franchise quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? He is. That is something that they were certain about years ago. It was just a matter of settling on the number, and they didn't agree to a deal a couple years back. He ends up playing on the franchise tag. Of course, he gets injured, and the Cowboys have such confidence in how he's recovering. They give him this bag that we're talking about right here. But it's not just about money. It's also about Prescott controlling his future. So they are not allowed to franchise tag him anymore. He's got a no tag clause. He also has a no trade clause, putting his future firmly in his hands. It is the moment that Dallas Cowboys fans, as you mentioned, have been waiting for, and it is now here for Prescott.
Ooh, the performance, the patience has paid off. Let's add another layer to this. Let's bring in Mark Ross to the conversation. Mark, what does this do for the organization?
Well, it gives stability, MJ, and this is what you want in a legitimate franchise-winning quarterback. On the field, Dak Prescott, in my view, is a top 10 quarterback. Off the field, he's everything you want as far as the character and the leadership. And this is what the whole entire organization, the team, the ownership wants in a franchise quarterback. And now it just gives the calm and the stability to say we can just move forward. This is our guy. We don't have to worry about the drama anymore. And that just wasn't affecting Dak and the ownership. This affects the entire team. So now that this is settled, the Cowboys can just concentrate their efforts on being the best team they can be, knowing that they have their leader in the fold, and move forward to be NFC East champs and possibly more.
And while we're discussing contracts, I mean, it's always about what does it mean for Dak, and obviously for the Cowboys, it is massive. They get their guy locked in for the foreseeable future for a very long time. But this is also about some of the other quarterbacks in the quarterback landscape. So when agent Todd France and Stephen Jones got together today and really ramped up things and ended up closing in on this deal that we're talking about right here, it also sets a pretty good value for the quarterbacks who are coming. Guys like Josh Allen would be one. Lamar Jackson would be another. This is the deal that perhaps they will be able to build off them. So it's not just the Cowboys and Prescott who are taking this deal and saying, all right, well, this is great for us. It's also what quarterbacks are valued at and what are they going to get in the future. This is very good news for, I would say, any pretty good quarterback would like to get paid a lot of money.
And we've been waiting to have this conversation for a couple of years now at this point. Great to see Dak finally get that contract. All right, Mark, stand by for just 1 second. Ian, thank you. Let's take a look here at the Cowboys with and without Dak. Dak Prescott was off to an incredible start in 2020, and so was the Cowboys offense, averaging over 32 points per game and nearly 500 yards per game. Without Dak, the production plummeted. So the Cowboys decided not to mess with the big D anymore. All right, Willie, I know you've been waiting, plotting. David Carr as well joining us here. The Cowboys got their man. David, the saga's over.
Yeah, I'm glad it's over. I mean, this is something that we talked about a few weeks ago, and we were concerned that this was going to drag on and it was going to be an issue for the Cowboys going forward and just a distraction for everybody. And now that that's solidified, I mean, you saw that statistic that you threw up that board was perfect, because I think that's what really made it, is him able to come in McCarthy's offense and show that he's a top-level quarterback. Almost 500 yards a game with him at the quarterback position in the first 5 weeks before he was injured. I mean, they were on record pace to go out and just blow the roof off that stadium. So, I mean, he's making a lot of money, and a lot of it's wrapped up in the salary cap for the quarterback now. But when you have a guy that can transcend and can be the guy that is that much better than anyone else that you can put in there in that offense, then maybe you can afford to pay him a little bit more, have the solidified position there, and then kind of put pieces as they come around him because he's such a transcendent player. I'm happy for Dak, happy for the Cowboys. Now let's just go play some football.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats for the Cowboys and congrats for Dak. And it is an enormous, well-deserved contract. But we talked about this, David and MJ. We talked about having a guy and you're acquiring pieces to put around him. You draft CeeDee Lamb, you go out and get Amari Cooper, you're getting all these pieces, you bring in a new coach with a great system. If you don't have a quarterback in this league, you can't win football games. I don't care how you cut it, how you look at it. And instead of getting into the quarterback sweepstakes, they've tried that. They brought in other guys from other teams. It just didn't fit. Dak embodies everything you want on a professional level outside of football, in the locker room, being a leader, showing the character, not really going into the newspapers about his deal or any of that, just playing football, doing everything he was supposed to do. Now, it was unfortunate that he got hurt, and this could have went a lot of different ways, but I'm glad the Cowboys did the right thing by honoring what he did. He's the most productive quarterback in his class. Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, he's the most productive guy. I'm glad they honored his productivity, what he did on the football field by that contract. Now, everybody can stop talking about it, and let's go get other pieces to help this football team become what we think they can be in the future.
I mean, we talked about it so much, especially after the injury, how it's easy to root for Dak, and now even more so. David, you said right at the end there, now we just got to play some football. So what are your expectations for the Cowboys now that we know that Dak is in there solidified for next season?
Yeah. I think two more things that kind of stand out for me. I think the reason that the deal was so big is because he is great in the moments that quarterbacks need to be great. He's not just a guy that puts up big yards. He's clutch. The guy is there in the fourth quarter. He makes play after play. Now his defense hasn't always showed up. The offensive line has been banged up. But when he's in there, you have a chance to win the football game every time. And that's been from his first year. I mean, he's the guy that came right in, stepped in when Tony Romo was out. And he played excellent football from day one. So he has that. And I think the other thing that stands out to me is they feel pretty good about his injury. I think that's the thing when you look at a contract like this. We were kind of talking and saying, well, is this going to go into training camp? Do they want to see how he moves around on the field? It's clearly going very well. And the Cowboys would know better than anybody before you threw this kind of money at a guy for 4 more years that he's got to be right injury-wise. So that's a great sign, too, if you're a Cowboy fan, that Dak is probably going to be back to 100% and ready to go. So that's a good sign.